Hi guys, this is Random Chat and I'm Darren making another video from my summer house. And yes, it's going to be another one on a political side. Yes, I wanted to try to avoid talking about politics, but the fact that this country is now falling apart big time, meaning Britain, I feel I need to share this with you. At a cost of being arrested and put in prison, going under today's standards. The Labour Party and its leader, Keir Starmer, has decided to totally destroy this country, basically, and ruin elderly people's lives. And I know that might sound extreme, but that is how it is coming across. And why I say this is that when the Conservatives was running this country, they saw that people on a low income and elderly people struggled to pay their bills because of the cost of living. So they were issued a winter payment each year to help pay for the gas and the electric. Well, what Keir Starmer has decided to do is to take that winter payment away from the elderly. So basically what that means is if we get a harsh, cold winter, the elderly has one or two choices: use their pension to buy food to survive, or use their pension to heat their homes to survive. So if things become quite harsh winter-wise, the elderly have a choice: stay warm and starve to death, or have their bellies full because they can afford the shopping and freeze to death. This is appalling and disgusting behaviour of any politician. But he's gone one step further. Not only does he want to take away the winter fuel payment, Keir Starmer wants to take away the free bus pass they get. A bus pass that you're entitled to when you retire. So not only does he want our pensioners to starve to death or freeze to death, he wants them to be reclusive, locked away in their homes because they cannot afford to go anywhere. This is a Prime Minister running the Labour Party, which is for the working class people, and he wants to take away the warm weather payment from elderly people and take away their bus passes. The reason being, he wants to fill the black hole, the deficit, the huge debt that the alleged Conservative Party has so-called built up. But he hasn't stopped there. One of the things you are entitled to, if you are a single person in your home, you get a discount on your council tax. We all have to pay a council tax for each house we own. But if you're a single person with a single income coming in, you are granted a discount on your council tax bill. Keir Starmer also now wants to take that away from people. So if you're a single person living on your own on minimum wage, he wants to make sure you get even less money per month coming into your bank account. This leader of ours, Keir Starmer, clearly wants to punish the working class people. He wants to make us poorer. He wants to take more and more away from us. And this is a person that's meant to be supporting the working class people. And he is far from supporting the working class people. Well, the best way he could fill this deficit, this black hole, would be to stop putting £18 billion a year in looking after all these illegal immigrants that keep flooding here. That is where a big chunk of our money is going, keeping these people, putting a roof over their heads, putting foods in their mouth, putting clothes on their back, and giving them health treatment. Now here's an idea. If Starmer is watching this, maybe not a brilliant idea, but it's a logical idea. If these people want to come to this country illegally, as they're doing each day, more and more now since Labour have taken over, how about stop feeding them, stop clothing them, stop putting a roof over their heads? Have the policy of, if you want to come to this country, fair, so be it. But you're on your own. You're not going to get help from the British taxpayers. You're not going to have our money. You're not going to have benefits given to you. Let's see how many illegal immigrants stop coming here, especially when they know they're not going to get the free handouts, the free meal ticket that our government keeps giving them. And no, I'm not blaming the Labour government fully 100% on giving these handouts to the illegal immigrants. The Conservatives did the same thing, but the only difference is the Conservatives wanted to put their foot down and stop them coming here. They did put a plan in progress to stop this and to start sending some of these people to Rwanda. As soon as Keir Starmer becomes Prime Minister, he cancelled it. The whole Rwanda thing was the first thing he cancelled. So rather than being deterred coming here knowing he was going to send to Rwanda, now Keir Starmer has said, you can come here and you can stay here. So the country that we live in now, here in Britain, is not a very good place to live if you're a British citizen. Taxes are going to go up. More and more money will come out of our pockets thanks to Keir Starmer. People are now going to struggle even more than they do on what little money that they get each week if they're on basic wage. This Prime Minister of ours is not doing anything to help us, to support us. Yes, he said things are going to get dark and worse as the weeks and the months go by before it can get better. But one of the things that everybody knows about Keir Starmer, he doesn't really tell the truth. He breaks his policies that he put in place to get where he wants to be. And he also forgets about the things he says only to be picked up on it. And when I say Keir Starmer lies, there is evidence of his lies throughout his career. He forgets what he says, so when he is questioned weeks, months, years later about the same thing, he changes his answer, clearly because he forgot what he said previously. So he's not a very good liar, which doesn't make him a very good politician, because you've got to be a very good liar if you're a politician. So what is next for this country? What is next for Keir Starmer to think up? Is it the gulags, the concentration camp style prisons for those who don't agree with him, who say things against him? Will he put us all to work in the slave prisons as punishment for speaking out against him? To be honest, I wouldn't put anything past Keir Starmer, full stop. The fact that he's quite happy to take things away from the elderly, there is nothing he will stoop to, and to make himself the brilliant immigrant god to all these people who want to come here. I guess it's the only way he can get people to vote for him, because I don't think anyone British would ever vote for Labour ever again. Which does baffle me really, regards to the Labour Party. They're either in agreement with what he's doing, or they're too scared to stand up to him. Because it's not just this country and the British people he is destroying. He is destroying his own party. Who in their right mind in Britain will vote for Labour ever again? Especially after what's happened now. He has done so much damage to this country beyond any of our previous prime ministers. People criticise Margaret Thatcher, who did a lot of good in this country, gave this country a backbone, but she was criticised for a few mistakes she made. But the mistake she's made is nothing compared to what Starmer's done within such a short period of time. And Margaret Thatcher also brings me to another thing Keir Starmer, well, Angela Rayner, should I say, wants to put a stop to. Margaret Thatcher in the 80s, when she was in power, she was a Conservative leader. She was a brilliant leader. That's my opinion. And she put a policy in place that if you want to own your council house and you can afford to buy it, why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you get on the property ladder? You have that right. It's not just a privilege for the middle and upper classes. It's for us as well. If we can afford to buy the property and get a discount, then we had that right. Well, apparently Angela Rayner also benefited from this scheme with the right to buy. And now she wants to put a policy in place that stops. That if you are a tenant within a housing association property, your right to buy it is scrapped, because she wants you to stay as a council tenant. She doesn't want you to step on the property ladder. This is the government that is running the country. A government that wants to walk all over us, keep us in our place. Is this a government that we want to run our country? Is this a government that we want to support, represent us? And the answer is no. Well, it is from me. And things are only going to get worse as time goes by. So unless the Labour Party literally stands up to Keir Starmer, their leader, and find a way to get rid of him, things are going to look very bleak in this country for the British people. People are going to be made homeless because of him, because they cannot afford to live, pay their bills, because of how much damage he is doing to their financial status. But don't worry, he's not just targeted the working class people, he also wants to make the rich even poorer. And yes, though they can afford it, is this fair? That if you've worked hard for your money, and you have achieved what you have, should you be punished for it? Should you be so heavily taxed that he takes a big chunk of what you've got? Because at the end of the day, what is Keir Starmer and the Labour Party giving us? They're not. They're taking more and more away from us. And this is the party that's got the audacity to criticise the Conservative Party when they are doing to us what the Conservative Party wouldn't dream of doing. And this is just my opinion. Whether this gets me into trouble or not, well, he might think he can shut us up and put rules in place and laws in place to damage our free speech. But there's one thing about trying to take things away from people. There's always people who will fight back. Best example I can give you is if you see a park bench and it says wet paint, do not touch. What do? You want to go and touch it, don't you? Just to see if it is wet. So when you got some dictating narcissist telling us you don't have the right to free speech anymore, well, we're going to exercise that right, even though it might cost us a prison sentence, a criminal record because of free speech. So how many more innocent people will be put in prison because of Keir Starmer's rules and his laws that he wants to put in place to keep us quiet? He's also changed the way we have to word things in this country as well, which I will go into shortly. Keir Starmer is doing his best to keep us quiet, keep us under his thumb, keep us controlled. This person needs to be removed from office. He needs to be replaced with somebody who has some morals. And yes, I know I probably can get myself into some serious trouble speaking out against Keir Starmer and the way he's running the country and what he's doing to the British people. But at the end of the day, how many more British people has to be put in prison for him to try and keep us quiet? And when will the human rights bill stand in the fact that he is literally persecuting innocent people and trying to shut them up? Because at the end of the day, the human rights bill says you cannot control somebody. You cannot make them say what you want them to say. You cannot make them think what you want them to think, or make them believe what you want them to believe. So this is why I say he's a bit of a narcissist and a dictator. And if Keir Starmer doesn't like this, he could easily take me to court for slander. And going by Keir Starmer's action towards the British people, it is very true what I'm saying and what everyone else is saying. And this is probably why he has not taken anyone to court yet. Because at the end of the day, any psychiatrist seeing what Keir Starmer's doing to us easily point out that this person clearly has narcissistic traits and also controlling behaviour. What I've said in this video probably could get me into a lot of trouble. But at the end of the day, why should we all keep quiet just to please him? Why should we all keep our mouths shut and be living in fear, Starmer's fear? Now to the point I was saying about the rewording of things and how we have to change how we describe things to avoid possibly prosecution. Some of you probably can remember, as it wasn't too long ago, the incident that occurred in Manchester Airport. Now, a video footage went out from somebody's phone of the police kicking a Pakistani Muslim in the head and stamping on him. Now, this did seem quite aggressive and violent towards this person. This could have been seen as a racial attack from the police. This could have been perceived as being over forceful behaviour towards somebody who hadn't committed any criminal offence whatsoever. Because many people have seen how forceful the police can be just to detain people for just freedom of speech. So it would be easily to believe that the fact that this innocent Muslim from Pakistan had did nothing wrong apart from come to the country, and that's why they acted so violently towards him, because they were basically being racist thugs. But unfortunately for that person with the phone, whoever recorded it, somebody leaked out the CCTV footage of what really happened. That is when the attack took place upon the police. And basically what you saw was the police defending themselves and trying to get control of a very aggressive, violent situation. Now, the police are trying to find out who leaked the CCTV footage out, and a criminal investigation is now put in place. Basically what that means is, under Starmer's ruling, they probably want to prosecute the person for showing the general public what really happened, showing them the truth. But the joke is now, we're not allowed to say what happened. We have to say it allegedly happened. This Pakistani Muslim allegedly attacked the police. Now, allegedly means that he may have done so, but he may have not done so. It could be just somebody stirring up trouble. But you got the video footage proving it. There is nothing allegedly about it. It was an attack on the police. But now we have to say allegedly. There isn't any statement of saying the police allegedly stamped on the Muslim's head. This police officer allegedly kicked this Pakistani Muslim in the head. So what this means is that they want this piece of evidence hushed up to get this person off scot-free. And this is how we're being controlled. We're being controlled how to say things, how to word things. And I think Keir Starmer is very scared because he's losing control of the country. He knows he's not very popular in this country. He knows he's classified as one of the most hated people in this country. I think at present, Keir Starmer is hated more than Adolf Hitler was. And that takes some doing. And yes, if I get into trouble for making this video, so be it. It just means I will be just another innocent person speaking their mind, who's not promoting any violence towards anyone, who's not promoting any hatred towards anyone, targeted for not keeping their mouth shut. It just means that another real criminal will be released from prison early just to make space for me, somebody who's sitting here on a camera speaking their mind. It's a sad state we live in. It's basically to the level that we're living in some sort of bizarre, weird fantasy world, and there is nothing we can do about it. We are stuck with this person, Keir Starmer, for 5 years. And if he gets his way, he probably will put some policy in place that he cannot be voted out. So basically, that's the end of this video for now. And I dread to think what's going to come next for us and what new policies and new rules and new laws Starmer will put in place. But no doubt we will soon find out, because what Starmer's done in such a short time has been horrendous so far. So I don't think it's going to get any better. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to add some comments and click the subscribe button. So that's it from me, Random Chat. Goodbye for now.